my therapist all the time. I'm like, why do I attract very so everybody is not where we're from. Nobody's around us to tell us yeah, I'm not going to say that. Right, all that like shit in the background. Like because I've done so much work on myself emotionally, the recovery has been fast. So that's why I'm like, I'm ready to kind of see what happens, but I'm trying to rush it. Yeah. So it's just kind of like having fun.
This stupid guy said it many times.
I'm gonna test the audio. I'm gonna walk out over here with the mic, and I'm gonna have you. No, I'm good. Good morning. How are you? Good. How did you know? The last two I was okay. Can you hear audio though right now? Yeah. Okay, so there's a delay. I'm gonna go over here and do a test. And let me know if it's clear. No, there is going to be a delay. Testing here. It's not cutting out. I think there's like a 10-second delay. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Clear? Let us know in the chat. It's really delayed. Okay. But is it clear? It's not chopping. It's not cutting out. Here. Okay. And what are we? Range? I hope so. Okay. I'm testing it right now. The live stream is like 3 seconds. Oh, really? When you go off, when you turn your mic off, to Erica. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay, lovely. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to cut them off in the middle. It's just about time. Yeah. Okay, thanks. All right, hello everyone. Good creative morning, and welcome. First things first. Let's talk about this man, Kelvin. Okay, Kelvin is a great musician, as we just heard, and we so appreciate having music in general. I mean, what a way to start the day, right? And so, if you haven't seen his scan on the sign, you can also keep track of him on Linktree, which is like 50 different social platforms, and he plays in a band as well. You sort of really believe it. I look at your band and think, it's a whole operation. You got some dates coming up?
Yeah. We got a couple as well. It's a jam band. It's not like yourself, but it's not
Yeah.
this is jazz.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, we appreciate that. Backing up slightly, hello and welcome to Creative Mornings Phoenix. I'm Prescott. I'm one of the hosts here, and that's a great crowd, and we really appreciate you all coming out. Let's get into it. We've got an agenda here. Yep. There we go. Okay. Intros and thanks. That's already happening. Then we're going to have our main talk with the Q&A to follow. Our 30-second spotlight is kind of our live in-person classified, where the community asks for things and helps out. Okay, so think of something you maybe need, maybe can offer, and then we'll we'll have a moment for that. And then we've got coming up around town just a few quick notes about events that are happening like immediately and also in the coming days. And we are going to take a photo afterwards, so save a little bit of mental space. And then there's an after party. What? So I'll tell you about it, and as it comes up. But if you have some room in your schedule, if you took the day off, or if you're solo and you need to do some networking by another name, it's coming. And by the way, the laser works, so get ready for that. Okay, first thing, Creative Mornings is a global enterprise. We are now in 252 chapters in 70 countries around the world, which is nuts. Who here is the first time at a Creative Mornings event? Okay, wow, that's like a third, a quarter of you. That's great. Who here has been to multiple chapters outside of Phoenix? Okay, more than four? More than four chapters? Awesome. More than six? Okay, all of them? No, that's I know. It's like Kathmandu is last on the list. It's a bit of a hike. Um, and we have lots of people every month, lots of videos. It's a great organization, and it would not be possible if it not for the global sponsor from a company I think you've heard of, Adobe. Right now, extra shout out this week for Adobe because Adobe has sponsored multiple events in and around Phoenix this week. Okay, who went to the Phoenix Design Week conference last week? Okay, that was Adobe's partnered or Adobe sponsored event. They also did the Creative Now on Monday. Anyone go to that? Okay, we were there in force. The cafes at ASU, 3 of them this week. Anyone went to that? I went to one, portfolio review. They also went to Tucson. I went to that, actually. Change of pace. Yeah, just to get some scenery. So Adobe is sort of in our corner as creative professionals. And I want to quickly tell you about some of the stuff they've got going on. They have a career resource center on their website, and it's actually very useful. They have articles, they have videos. There's the Level Up series on the Creative Mornings blog. Have you watched those? Have you seen those? It's going for a few more weeks, and the videos have been, I guess, going since the spring. So you could go back and watch, at this point, probably 20 videos on different topics, on freelancing, on getting clients, on avoiding burnout, on job searching, all this stuff. And it's a lot of that is there. So Adobe is actually investing in a kind of community training as well, which we appreciate. And they also have Behance. My portfolio is actually on Adobe Portfolio, which is tied into Behance. I read that wrong. If you use Behance and you use the Creative Cloud, you can build an Adobe Portfolio pretty seamlessly, and it's sharp. So if you haven't explored that, I would recommend it. I actually recommend it. And then the last one is a kind of a neat trick that if you have a Creative Cloud membership, you can get LinkedIn Premium, I think for 3 months for free. So if you want to experiment, you can jump in on that as well. And there's one more thing, which is the Creative Apprenticeship. This is a cool program that Adobe's doing where essentially they are offering, or they're kind of like subsidizing paid engagements where young people, especially entry level, whatever you want to call it, are getting to be placed in actual companies to do actual work, thanks to the kind of grant from Adobe. And Creative Mornings headquarters has one of the Adobe apprentices. And so it starts with Behance. You set up your projects, you set up your profile and everything, and then you can apply to do a commission for Adobe itself. And so it's like, a one-off project. It could be anything, motion graphics, illustration. And then if they accept you and they like you and then yada, yada, then they get you in the system and try to place you as an apprentice. So it is a little bit of a rigmarole, but along the way, you're practicing and you're building skills. So especially to some of our students and recent graduates, check it out, investigate that, watch one of the videos, take a few minutes to just learn about that. Okay, so thank you again to Adobe, the global sponsor. Anyone here work for Adobe? You never know. They walk among us. If so. What's that? You've done stuff for them? Okay. Awesome. Let's keep going. So thank you to the local sponsor, and this is AIGA Arizona, longtime. Okay, represented. Longtime local sponsor who helps keep Creative Mornings humming on coffee and bagels. And it is Phoenix Design Week, and I want to prompt you or prime you. The final day of Design Week, there is going to be a party tonight, Design Week closing party. So stay tuned after the talk, and some of our members, maybe the chapter president, might come up here and talk about it. Raise your hand if you're an AIGA member. Okay, they're represented. Yeah. Thank you again to AIGA Arizona, and thank you to our local host venue this month, which is Kiln Biltmore. And I don't have the Biltmore there, but the Kiln organization is represented. And we have some notes. So I want to bring up the director. Are you the director?
No, I'm not. Pretty good director, but my name is Madeline. I'm with Kiln. I'm the member success manager. I help fill our space through memberships and office space. So if you're interested in hanging out with us for the day, we offer day passes. See a couple members in the room, so I'm sure you can. Are there members in the room? We've got one representative. Thank you. So come chat with me up at the front desk if you're interested in either part-time membership, being here more full-time, office space, etc. We'd be happy to support all the creatives. We know a lot of you work on a solo basis, so it's important for people to have community locally, where they can collaborate. It's a great opportunity to be able to network with our other members as well, find work in that way, and just be a part of our community here at home.
Yeah. And there's another location, right?
Yes. So we actually have 17 locations throughout the Western United States and growing. Everything from Texas over. So Colorado, we're headquartered in Utah, California. So once you're a member at one, you're a member at all. So if there's any travel involved, then you're welcome to go and visit any of those spaces. We're one big family here. So we'd be happy to have you a part of it.
And is Gilbert open?
It is, yes. So specifically in Arizona, we are local here. We've been open since February. We also have our Gilbert location as well. So we have a lot of people kind of coming back and forth between the two.
Okay. And last question. If folks want to take a tour, can they meet you today or do I have to schedule it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So just come on and find me at the desk. If there are enough interested, maybe we'll do a little group situation. But if today isn't working for you, we can always schedule something in the future as well.
Excellent. Okay. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you to Kiln.
Thank you.
And of course, I have to give my heartfelt thanks, my magenta heart, to the volunteers here. And so this is our group, our all-volunteer chapter. Show of hands, you're hiding among us. All right, we're all here. Glenn and Heidi are both traveling for work, but this is our crew, the volunteer squad that makes this happen. It is a huge project every month, and if you enjoy the festivities, make sure you thank one of us here. Okay, and stay tuned if you're interested in joining us. We have some new folks. Jess was not pictured, but she was checking you in, and that's always nice when people join the party, right? Thank you to the volunteers again. Okay, and now we have the Creative Mornings Manifesto, and we're going to invite past speaker and past chapter volunteer Zoe. Oh, do you have it written down?
Yeah, I have it pulled up.
Okay, I have it too, but go ahead. We are going to read the. Yeah, you stand close so you get the mic here. We're going to read the manifesto together.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you read it while it goes on screen.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Everyone is creative. A creative life requires. Oh, it's not going on screen. Are you adding it on screen? A creative life requires bravery and action, honesty and hard work. We are here to support you, celebrate with you, and encourage you to make the things you love. We believe in the power of community. We believe in giving a damn. We believe in face-to-face connections and learning from others and hugs and high fives. We bring together people who are driven by passion and purpose, confident that they will inspire one another and inspire change in neighborhoods and cities around the world. Everyone is welcome.
All right. Okay. And now we're going to change it up just a little bit. I want to invite my co-host, Erica, to take over to talk about the theme and the speaker and get the festivities underway. So I'll hand over the mics, the ritual handing of mics and the clipping of mics.
All right, our theme for September is Blossom. That's a new, you added that.
I had to.
It was chosen by our Pereira chapter in Colombia and illustrated by Edwin Morales. Every blossom is an act of becoming. The quiet force of roots pushing through the dark, the slow unfurling of a bud, the sudden burst of color, but plants don't blossom on command. Each flower requires the right amount of sunlight, water, and nourishment across the cycle of the seasons. It's the same for creativity. Our next idea lies dormant while we fertilize our mind. With attention, protection, and space to play, our work becomes what it is meant to be. Petal by petal, the passion inside us bursts into glorious play. Our speaker today is Guerin, and I'll add a little aside. I've taken Gary's DIY floral classes, and there is something really freeing about working with florals as a creative. I'm a perfectionist. Anybody in here also have perfectionist tendencies? And one of the things I've learned through Gary's classes is the beauty of working with something that's going to die, because it frees me to just experiment, just play, and not get too caught up in perfection. So a little about Gary. Gary is a creative visionary whose work has shaped experiences for global icons and brands, including Pinterest, the White House, Taylor Swift, Instagram, and the Super Bowl. Like, that's quite the range, you guys. As the founder and creative director of STEM Swag, Phoenix's award-winning floral and event design company, he's redefining what a modern flower shop can be. With a career spanning luxury hospitality, pop brand activations, and tentpole events nationwide, Gary brings a rare blend of artistry and strategic vision to every project. Today, he's channeling that expertise into transforming the floral industry with innovation, bold design, and fearless ideas. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to Gary Guerin.
Hello. Oh, I get two.
Yeah, for the camera.
All right, I'm going to try and do this with the handheld. If it gets crazy, I'll just put it down. This is my Kelly Clarkson moment, so I'm 100% just taking it. All right. I got cue cards. I brought them myself. I'm really excited to be here today. Erica, thank you so much. That was a beautiful introduction. I'm going to definitely touch on many of the things that you said today. But like Erica said, she has attended some of my DIY classes, and our motto there is always "You do you, boo." So thank you for bringing me today and trusting me to have this talk. I'm so excited to share. I'm going to get out some quick acknowledgments really quickly, but I want to thank my amazing team and creative team. They do all of this, and I get up here and talk about it, and it's wonderful, and obviously lots of talent happening within our company. So today, I'm going to share the story of how I have blossomed over the past 8 years into this beautiful little company that I've built. I'm going to tell you how it all grew, how it started, how it broke lots and lots of times. There will be lots of challenges in our roots in this story. A little more context on me. I have worked with a lot of big name clients. When people introduce me and say those things or I have to read them, I just feel very busy, but very humbled to work with all of those wonderful roster of people. I did a lot of agency work over the past 20 years. I had my own event agency here in Phoenix. Does anyone remember Sway Events at all? It's been a minute. But overall, I have been in the event landscape for about 27 years now. So I decided finally to, instead of doing everything, I was traveling a lot with agency work, and I just decided to boil it down to one creative element that I could focus on, which was flowers. So today, after all of that, creativity has sort of always been my through line. I didn't know that I would end up being the CEO of a floral company, but here I am, and I'm excited to share how that all went down. So I will start by saying I didn't have flowers at my own wedding, which is crazy because now flowers are literally my whole life. But we'll get back to that. So when I first started this business, I thought I knew exactly what I was planting. I had a solid idea. I came with a ton of contacts. I came with a lot of know-how, just in operations. So I was like, I can take this and project it on the flower medium and it'll be great. I was really rooted in events. And so I was like, this is a no-brainer. This is going to be awesome. Until the roots started to grow a very different way. Because our dear friend, COVID, came to play. So overnight, all of the events disappeared. And I was just kind of looking at this thing thinking, did I just plant this seed that's never even going to sprout? Do I just move on and start over? What do I do? So I had an idea, not a big polished idea, but a very scrappy idea. It was also during COVID, and I was a little bored. So I decided to deliver what we called emotional support plans. Robin, I think you actually got one during that time. So you got two. So we had this super scrappy idea to deliver emotional support plants. It just felt right for the time. We delivered these plants, $20 a pop. You could pick your pot, and then they had these little motivational cards on them. So this is also when I discovered Canva. So I was on a roll, honey. It was my Hallmark era for sure. I was just like pumping out the cards. You go, girl. Stay rooted. You got this. So we were delivering them all over the valley contactlessly. Do you remember that word? Contactlessly. Buzzword. So we delivered them all over the valley, and what came out of it was really special. It just felt so right for the time. People sent us the nicest, most sentimental messages. People were like, "Thank you for finding a way to connect me with my family when I was unable to be there physically myself." So we obviously didn't make any money on this operation for $20 plants. And also something that I learned early on is maybe I should have narrowed my delivery zone just a bit, because for months, for weeks at least, we did this for like 3-4 weeks, I think, just to get them all out. We had over 300 orders. And so at the time, it was me and one other person, just literally driving all of these plants all around town. But it felt really good, and so it felt right. So what I realized is this: sometimes blossoming boldly doesn't start with a big, elaborate plan or an epic moment. Sometimes it's just about a teeny, tiny sprout. And then sometimes, this has been such a fun activity for me to put together. I was talking with Erica a little in the lobby about just my process for being able to tell you this story. But sometimes I know that as a creative, sometimes your soil can feel really soggy and damp, and you're kind of drowning in it. Sometimes you have so much creative energy that you just suck all the moisture out of the soil, and you have dry soil. So there's all of these different things that we go through to maintain our soil. Sometimes you might even have gnats, but we have to keep moving on. So all of these temporary conditions, it doesn't mean it's the end of the soil. It just means we have to allow the soil to do its work, to revitalize and to return us back to our most reliable state. Okay, so remember how I told you, I'm gonna grab some water. Remember how I told you I didn't have flowers at my wedding? So we skipped flowers altogether for lots of different reasons. It just overall wasn't a positive experience. We didn't quite love the options, just like how it was presented to us. It just kind of slipped down on our priority list. We're like, no, we'll just skip the flowers. So fast forward to about 6 years after, my timeline might be a little off, but about 6 years after my wedding. This is towards the end of COVID. At this point, we had built a core little audience with those emotional support plans. We definitely harvested that data, stayed in touch, and that's essentially what helped us to build what would become a base that we could do retail, since we couldn't do events anymore. So we camped out in our wholesaler's back room. Did anybody ever come to that back room studio? A few of you. It was, thank you for finding it, because it was, we tried to market it as a speakeasy at some point, because it was literally just like down a hallway, like in a room, no AC, no heat. I mean, crazy. So there was a venue downtown, right around the corner, that was just kind of shopping for us. I don't know quite how we came up, because we were new at the time. So they came to me, gave us the opportunity to pitch for the venue. So we did pitch for the venue. They decided that we would start working together. We worked together, I would say, 3-4 months, and then over the course of a year, what turned out to be one venue turned into 6 venues. So we started servicing all of those venues, and that was truly a way for us to scale, and to start to really set ourselves up for success for how we wanted to grow. Yes, the original venue that reached out to me was my wedding venue, all those years later. So I still tell clients whenever I do those consultations or part of the conversation, I'm like, look, I got you. I was married for yourself. But here's what it taught me. Sometimes blossoming boldly isn't about pushing harder or chasing after opportunities. Sometimes it's about being planted in the right place, and even when it looks unlikely, to still lean into the sunlight and let the right opportunities find you. I didn't have flowers in my own wedding, but now I have them by the thousands. Okay. And then there are the projects that you just never see coming. So around this time, I had a long-time creative colleague that I had worked with in many capacities. She ended up going on to be the director of brand marketing for a women's lingerie company. It was eventually purchased by a conglomerate. So anyhow, I got this call. It was, of course, in the dead of summer, because that's when it always happens. And we were asked to put together a Midsummer Night's Dream forest in a studio inside in the middle of summer for women, model lingerie for Playboy. Not exactly on my personal bingo card, but we sure as hell got it done. It was just a really, really fun. I have so many of these stories. Stick around after. So the best part is that, side note, it was plants and indoors, so we actually have a plant, a really tall tree, I guess, at our house that my husband keeps alive. So thank you for keeping Playboy as part of our family, babe. Really appreciate it. Okay, so here's the thing. Blossoms don't always show up where you expect them. Sometimes they pop up in places that feel wild or even a little bit out of place, and yet they still carry beauty, creativity, and impact. So this project taught me this. If you're willing to follow your creativity into unusual places, it will really surprise you what can bloom. So blooming isn't all about beauty. Something that I have learned in this industry, which is a wand moment, but flowers don't just show up pretty like that. You have to process them. You have to do all of these things to really get them to their best state. So when people hear now, we've been in business for 7 years, that we do, as a relatively small team, over 850 events a year. Aside from our retail business, some people might think that that's glamorous doing all of these events. And I know that you've seen the memes of the, walking in with the champagne and the flower. It's definitely not that. We're all washing buckets. If y'all see me loading in this morning, I did not look like this. So in our early days, we ran out of cooler space all the time. Our coolers broke. At one point, we had a cooler. We had to expand it. We were working literally out of no joke, 4 different locations, coolers. At one point, we parked U-Hauls in the back of people's yards that and try to keep our flowers cold overnight. So we have definitely been through it. Transportation, we didn't have vehicles. We begged, we borrowed, we used our wholesalers' trucks, we used our personal vehicles. I think I really tested the limits of how many U-Hauls you can take out under one name. I'm happy to not be doing that anymore. So next, there was the Super Bowl. So I'm not a Super Bowl guy, but I was excited just to, I love tentpole events. I love the big production. So I was just I'm excited to see what all of these vendors do with this opportunity. I'm stoked. So then I had heard about a small business group that they were putting together through the Super Bowl. Did anybody work with that group? Okay. So I heard about it. I attended a meeting with a friend, and I was like, hey, I'll hear what they have to say. So I decided to throw my hat in the ring for anything. I thought maybe we'll get, something, a fun little whatnot. So we ended up landing 17 events. Many of them were the official sanctioned events of the Super Bowl. So we worked with their largest production partner, and we did flowers literally everywhere. We did the VIP house downtown at Champaign Lanes for an entire week. We did the Super Bowl VIP experience at the park. We did the florals inside and outside of the stadium, all the VIP areas. I mean, we did an event at the farm that was their welcome event. I remember literally our team member, Katie, we always joke about it. She was literally designing in a U-Haul as it was moving through the property. Because has anybody been to the farm? It's giant. And we had 600 pieces to set. So Super Bowl was absolutely crazy. At this time, we were still working out of our wholesaler's back room. which was just a maze of ways. By that time, they had like broken into this other space, and they have been such great partners. We got flowers, Juliana, if you're watching, I love you. And it just like kind of took over the warehouse for a minute to make all of this happen. I remember also, I was literally hiring people, florists that were coming in to buy flowers that day. I was like, hey, how much time do you have? Like literally putting people to work. You all know Dara. So the way that I met Dara is I met Dara outside of We Got Flowers, sitting on my phone, and asked her if she could come help me set up at the park. And that's how we met. And now she's actually our rep. But anyhow, it was crazy. But we did it. Every single event got done. And then, small side note, this was also Valentine's Day weekend, and we're also a retail florist. So it was crazy, but I'll always think about it fondly. So the Super Bowl taught me this. Sometimes blossoming boldly means stepping into opportunities that feel way too big, way too fast, and trusting that you'll find a way to bloom in the middle of the madness. And here's the thing about blossoming. It doesn't always happen where you expect it. So have you ever been out and about, walking in the street or somewhere, and you see something beautiful growing out of the cracks, and you just have to stop and take a photo of it, or you just take a minute to think like, how the hell is this thing even surviving here, or where did this come from? Those are the moments that feel most beautiful to me. Blooms that show up in cracks in the sidewalk, in the middle of the asphalt, in places you'd never think could thrive. And that's really what it's felt like for me to blossom. Not perfect and not polished, but continuing to show up and to push through and to be alive. So we're going to get deep here, all right? So here's my question for you. This was really interesting for me to think about, but what messy part of your life right now and all of your tangled roots might be part of your future blossom? So here's the thing about blossoming boldly as well. It isn't just about adding more vans, more people, more flowers. It's also about letting go. Because if you truly want a plant to thrive, I think you know what I'm going to say here, right? Okay. You have to prune that plant. And sometimes that can be really difficult, but pruning for me is a very important part of the blossom experience. If you ever pruned a plant, you kind of step back and you look at it and you're like, she looks a little funky, like maybe I took off a little bit too much, or it's lopsided. So I think what we should really do is step back and look at that as making space for what is going to bloom next. I've had to prune a lot of things out of my life, personally and professionally, with relationships, and that's okay. The soil just wasn't right for both of us, and that person will find another garden. And I want to curate my garden, and so I want to keep the blooms close to me that matter. I've also had the bloom perfectionism. Erica brought that up in the beginning, and I have a very highlighted note here that perfectionism is something that will kill creativity so very quickly. So that's something that I've had to prune from my garden. I also have had to let go of the idea of being part of everything, of touching everything, which my team is here probably rolling their eyes right now. But that is something else. So maybe blossoming boldly isn't about what else you can put onto your plate or another project. Maybe it's about asking, what do I need to trim back? What do I need to release so that my blossoms have room to go? All right. How's it going? You still with me? Awesome. All right, when I started flowers, I didn't know the industry. I didn't really, like I said, I knew logistics, I knew creative, I knew how to walk people through an experience. And so why I think we're a different brand of flower shop is that really is my root system. It's all about an experience. I mean, when we show up, we show up. And so, you know, even, I knew all that, but I didn't know anything about flowers. I didn't also know that Mother Nature would be one of my colleagues that I would be working with every day. And let me tell you, sometimes she's a bitch. I didn't know how to process flowers. I didn't know the intricacies of working with perishable product. But we figured it all out. What I did know was, like I said, moving people through that experience. And then a really, really wild opportunity showed up. So we got a call from State Farm Stadium to produce florals for an artist. This now, I'm fortunate to say, happens for us a lot. And what we do is we just like Google and we figure it out, even when they don't tell us, we know who it is. So we tried to figure this one out. We couldn't quite figure it out. The dates didn't really align. So we go into this deal, there's all the things to sign and whatnot. And later on, we learned that it's Taylor Swift. So, yeah, a couple of people have. So her team wanted florals for multiple VIP spaces. They wanted them for dressing rooms. And then they wanted this really cool moment in the tunnel, sort of like one of the last moments before she comes on stage. So we were super excited to learn it was Taylor. There were lots of Swifties. I am a Swiftie. So we got really excited. So we put together this beautiful design. It was these large, oversized white roses. White roses and white Berbera daisies are Taylor's favorite. So we put together this huge, really cool design. We got to go down to the stadium and just be part of the energy of that whole event. Security was really tight. We weren't able to take photos. Like, they literally watched us put in every stem as we stood outside the dressing rooms. And it was just a really cool experience. We went back throughout the week to kind of maintenance everything. And then we ended up having a lot of people on the tour reach out to us for all of the occasions that they were celebrating that week, because obviously Taylor's rolling pretty deep with people. So we were like, birthdays, anniversaries. We were just like at the stadium all week delivering flowers for Taylor's people. So something that was just like an aha moment is that 6 years prior to that is when I had, to the day. So I remember this because the morning I had resigned from my agency job for lots of reasons. And I remember that night we went to the Reputation tour. And so I'm sure it's somewhere, there's a video of me like teary-eyed in a U-Haul and whatnot. But 6 years later, it was just such a different place. I had come to being so unhappy in that work. So now I was actually producing florals for Taylor Swift. It was just a crazy, crazy moment. So if you want to see me crying somewhere, go deep on social, you'll find it. Okay. This is something different for me, but I'd like to close with a moment of reflection. This whole talk has really reminded me of my journey and my gratefulness. And like I was telling Erica outside, just kind of putting it into writing. I'm not really like rehearse a speech over and over type of guy. I'm just like more bullet points. So last night was the first time I had a chance to just kind of roll through it all. And sometimes saying it out loud and putting it into words is so meaningful. And so I would encourage you to do that. I'm not a journaler. I don't meditate or any of that. So this has felt like that for me. So thank you for sharing. But if you are comfortable, close your eyes. If not, just listen along. Picture your favorite flower. If you don't have a favorite, maybe imagine a color that reminds you of one. Maybe it's a bloom from your childhood, a flower from your grandmother's garden, or a wild plant you stumbled across on vacation because it was so stunning and you just had to stop and take a picture. Now, a little deeper, past the petals, past the stems, down into the soil. Beneath every flower is a hidden world that we don't know about. Tangled roots, unseen struggles, and layers of life feeding into that one temporary moment of beauty. Because blooms aren't meant to last forever, but the act of blossoming again and again can be. Sometimes blossoming boldly starts small. Sometimes it means being planted in the right place. Sometimes it's wildly unexpected. And sometimes it requires pruning. And sometimes it means trusting creativity over tradition. So where in your life are you being called to blossom boldly? What seed is waiting for you to trust it enough to sprout? What needs pruning in your garden so you can make space for more blooms? Thank you. Now, if flowers can bloom here in Arizona, Melissa can tell you all about it, and so can you. Thank you guys for having me and letting me chat about how I blossomed and my journey. This was really special for me. My hope is that this story leaves you with some sort of inspiration so that you can go out, be part of other people's garden, blossom boldly. And before I go, we're growing, so we're hiring. If anybody wants a job, we do have a couple, for real though, we have a couple roles. We're looking for designers, and then we're also looking for possibly somebody who can lead some consultations and do a certain amount of sales work. So if you know any of those people, we are a growing company, so let's chat. But thank you guys so much, and go out there and blossom boldly. Oh, I guess I'm answering questions now.
I'll start just real quick. You mentioned, I'll stand closer. You mentioned your time in COVID, and I want to let you know that the reason why I found out about you was because I was the first in my family to get COVID, and the morning that I tested negative for the first time, did the whole like super quarantining. I let my family know. My mom, who's sitting right there, she's like, "I'm coming over. I'm gonna hug you." And I didn't know this, but she Googled where can I pick up flowers, and she stumbled into your shop downtown.
Gosh, crazy.
And and got a bouquet. And she said, "They're doing this thing where they're doing these DIY classes. You should check this out." So, like, one of those things you just never know where a connection might lead. Like, what one thing done, like 5 years later, might lead to you standing in a room, sharing your story, and causing people to tear up.
Insane.
So, anybody have any questions? Hillary?
Yeah. Oh, it's just record on this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love how you said trust creativity over tradition.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. It's something that was a big part of, obviously, like my journey. Part of it also is I feel like in this industry, and one of the reasons that I was excited to go into flowers is that I personally don't feel like there's a lot of innovation industry-wide with flowers, and so I wanted to do something a little bit different. And I think that the way that I really have been able to do that for myself is that I kind of went into it with ignorance is bliss and figured out my own systems and ways, which, again, I'm sure my staff is real happy about that process, but we got there. So.
Wait, I didn't ask my question.
Oh.
I was going to ask, what's your favorite flower plant? And also, where do you source your flowers?
Yeah, good question. So my favorite flower changes like weekly. I think right now, Pincushion Protea, which is like this little guy over here, like the little spiky, it's considered a tropical. And where we source our flowers, so we source our flowers, like I said, through our wholesaler. We got flowers, so they get flowers from all over the country. I think a lot of their roses come from Ecuador. So it comes from all over the country, but we support them because they are a local business, and we've had a really great relationship with them. We also support local growers. Melissa, we are bringing in more and more local blooms. We bring them in every couple of weeks, but you can pop into our shop. They're really special. Like every time I seriously emphasize, I'm like, this grew in Arizona and like now. So yeah, we're trying to source more and more local. It's a little bit limiting in Arizona, obviously, because of our geographics, but yes. But pop in our shop, see our local blooms. I should also mention our retail shop is at the Royale in the Melrose area, right on 7th and Indian School. Right now it's all set up for Halloween, so there's lots of really cool things to explore and see in there, including local blooms from this woman.
So one of the things that I think is most compelling about your story is the fact that you led from a place of service, right? So during the COVID days, delivering flowers, and then as you started to scale, you leaned into your community for support, right? Begging and borrowing as you were scaling. So you started by serving your community, and then when it came time, your community showed up for you.
So, using one word only, what does community mean to you?
Man. Using one word only, what does community mean to me? Love.
Lauren? Hello, I'm Lauren. I also work in events primarily. I would do design. But I wanted to ask you, out of all the things to choose in the event world, why flowers?
Oh, good question. So I didn't really even, I don't even want to say dabble in flowers, but as a creative, we all have our fair share of emergencies. So I definitely was able to throw some flowers together. But when I resigned from my agency job, I honestly have no idea. I floated around the pool, had maybe a few mini cocktails during the summer, just like thinking, what am I going to do? And I applied for some jobs just to try something completely different. Honestly, at that time, I felt like I was a little burnout on events in general. But everything that I kept coming up with or workshopping kept leading me back to events. And so finally I just surrendered and I'm like, I'm going to be in events. Like that's how I'm wired. So I was just kind of running through all the different elements of events. I was like, I don't want to do catering. And then flowers just kind of popped up and I came home and told my husband I was opening a flower shop.
Okay, last one.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm really happy that you did that experience towards the end. Like, definitely was tearing up. But I love you talking about like the evolution of the floral industry and like how there's like limited innovation. I'm just curious to see like what do you think are like what really gets you excited or what's the future of the floral industry for you
absolutely.
in like maybe like 5 to 10 years, you know?
Yeah. So I think one of the things I'm really excited about events always, but I think one of the things that I'm really excited about and through this experience, I didn't know that I would be, I'm excited about retail. And that's where I feel like we can really change the landscape of how flowers are happening. I mean, if you even look at our website, you'll see like we offer things that nobody else does. We're really trying to, like, not to be cheesy, but we're like more like flowers for the people. We know that, I know that, you know, sometimes I want to walk in and get a meaningful gift, but I want to spend $100. And that's okay. So we kind of are fitting different price ranges. We're like really listening to our customers. And then for us, it's also part of the experience. We love when people come into our store to either pick out flowers or to pick them up and take them with us. You'll know the difference, right, when you walk into our store. Even when we were downtown for a while, and thank you for coming, I used to joke that we were the man's flower shop because we have an edge, but mostly I think what it all boils down to mostly is that in my past experiences, like with my wedding and whatnot, I didn't have a great experience with flowers. I honestly kind of felt like it was a pretty weak woman moment. I was like, I'm not really this thing here. But they just like, so we want to create a whole different experience of being able to make flowers more accessible. We don't want anyone to feel stuffy when they walk through our doors or feel like I don't belong here. So a lot of it is just about the energy and our customer service. So I could go on and on. We'll chat after.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Oh, well, so while I get clipped back in, wait, I missed one. Oh, we have, I don't really need this, but my Kelly Clarkson moment will continue. Help. Like I have too many hands and that's what I mean. There we go. Like, it's like you're at a barbecue and you're like trying to, I don't know. Okay. 30-second spotlight. This is something that we do. We borrowed this actually from the Toronto chapter like years ago, and it's pretty common. But the point is, we want to hear from you. So if you have something going on, you're hosting a party, you have a couch that needs repair, you're looking for a job, you have a job to offer, come up here, I'll give you the mic, and you can share it with the room, and then we'll type it up. Muse is taking notes for the wrap-up email, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you have a 30-second pitch or spotlight, come on over and wait here. And in the meantime, that's your cue. In the meantime, we have ours. So this is our pitch to the room, to all of you, and we are always welcoming of new volunteers to join our little fiasco. And some of you came in very early and caught us setting up, that goes even faster and more seamlessly with additional hands. You know what I mean? So if you're interested in any of these things here, photography, we got a lot of photographers, video editing, and live streaming. Hillary's doing like 6 things at once. What else we got? Social media. Madison handles almost all of the social media. So if you've seen anything clever, that's all her. Right? Did you see last time? She's like, this summer I went to Creative Mornings, and it was like a spoof on that. Anyway, newsletters. Sorry, I sent you a few extra. That wasn't my fault, but that's where we can use some help. Anyone that does that professionally and like has data analytics, we would love to get involved. And everything else for the future: sponsors, venues, speakers. We got a whole new set of themes coming up for 2026. So if you're interested in getting involved and hosting and speaking, let us know. So the easy way to do that is just talk to one of us or write to, did I not write that? There we go. Phoenix at Creative Mornings. Or, fun fact, any email you get from us, you can just reply. Okay? Cool. So who's got a 30-second spotlight pitch thing? Oh, Hillary, you want to come? Yeah, we can start a little cue. You can come up in the front here.
Thank you.
Here, stand close.
Oh, yeah.
No, you got one?
Whoa.
We need a microphone keeper.
I know. Yeah, I run the cameras and the streaming, like Prescott said. So if you want to help, I would love it. I am a brand strategist turned designer turned small shop studio wild ideas work. Trying to do more things that make me uncomfortable. So just coming up here and plugging myself. I do branding, design, a little bit of video, but just come say hi. And I just got some fresh business cards made at Hazel and Violet, which is a plug for them. They do amazing letterpress and other great creative work. So come say hi. I love this organization. I've met some of my greatest friends here. So
okay.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. And see if there's any questions from the chat room online.
We didn't have any as of right now, but
hello. So introduce yourself and ask what's on your mind here. And stand close so the stream can pick you up.
Hi, my name is Miriam. I just moved here from Istanbul about a year ago, so I'm just kind of trying to find my bearings. I'm a graphic designer, and but I'm really focused on UI UX. And I'm currently looking for a job, also doing freelance and contract work. So if you guys have anything, feel free to come up.
Okay. Thank you. Stop by Muse and get the email address. We can put that in the newsletter thing. Muse, there's Muse. She'll take your email and we can get you connected. Okay. Anything else in the spotlights here? Okay. One more, Crystal.
Hi, everyone. My name's Crystal. I'm a graphic designer by day. I work in tech, but I recently started a business planning proposals. So I make fun picnics and love to just make somebody feel like the most special person. And so I'd love to collaborate with anybody. Definitely going to be doing the DIY floral workshop. Looking forward to that. So yeah, if you're in events, if you have any ideas on how to make somebody feel really special and plan a day around them, I'd love to collaborate. And yeah, I'm really excited. This is my first Creative Morning. And
so that's wedding proposals?
Wedding proposals.
Okay. Yeah. So not like an RFP for a software. But
no, do enough boring stuff for J-Dub and check. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. And same thing, make sure Muse has your email. That's the end of that. Oh, quick plug for the website. A few more little wrap-ups, and then that's it. I'll get you off to your fantastic job making software. Oh, yeah, you want to do it? Okay. You're responsible for writing this down.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Muse. I have a micro event space in downtown Phoenix and also have a storytelling platform. The next event is October 24th, where the theme is the villain origin story. And so I have some storytellers with the Halloween theme, and so they will tell when they decided to go from bad to good or from good to bad. October 24th, downtown 3rd Avenue McDonald's. We're located in the biggest called the museum.
Okay. Okay. Pitch another one from Gary.
Okay, real quick.
Introduce yourself, tell your life story.
Real quick, a few of you have brought up DIY and it clicked in my head. So our next DIY class, we haven't put it out yet, but it's going to be on October 16th. It's going to be really special because it's right across from our warehouse in the Sunny Slope area. Does anybody know that building, the old eye opener? A really great furniture store. So they have wrapped up business and they're turning it into a tap room, which is going to be really great for the community. But they're letting us in doors on October 16th. So if you want to come build Halloween flowers with us, keep a look on our Instagram.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, I hope you don't mind me standing so close. I'm just checking, the microphone. It's like, okay. All right, last couple things. Our website, the Creative Mornings website. So let me show you a cool trick, which is that if you go to the Creative Mornings Phoenix, can you see the laser? It's so dim. And you go down to talks on the left side, you'll be able to see videos from all the past sessions. And we just had a new one from August added, and we're still trying to get July. We'll work on that one after. And you can see if you missed it, if you were out of town, or if you just want to watch it again, you want to get some of those truth bombs from Gary, you can check them out on the website in the future. That's a resource that's always there. And then here's another thing. I saw a lot of new people sign up, which means you are represented here by a bagel. We'd rather see your lovely face. So that way, when you come to the events, when you RSVP, we can be like, oh, Susie's coming, Andrew's coming. And we know exactly who it is, and we can say hello. This is a community. We enjoy seeing familiar faces, even in tiny thumbnail version. And so as much as we love a good cup of coffee, croissant, go ahead and add your profile there. That'll help build the community. And it's all free. It's all easy. Coming up around town, just a few things real quick. Brunch Club. Now, I mentioned this over the past couple of weeks. We're doing a little experiment. Can you see? Am I? Basically, this continues. We're going to go to Broken Yoke Cafe on the south side of a shopping complex and just sit down and have a proper meal and meet each other one-on-one. Like Hillary said, a lot of solo practitioners starting their own business, moving to town, this kind of thing. So if you took the day off, or if you want to be a solo practitioner and call it like meals and entertainment, join us at 11. So we're going to pack up here and just wander over to the other side of the shopping complex. No RSVP needed. See you there. Yeah. And we'll just get like tables of 4s and 5s or whatever. We don't need like a 19-person table. Here's something coming up tonight. Now, is anyone here from AIGA that wants to break it down in more detail? Morgan, you're sitting closer to the aisle there. But come on up. So while she's walking, get your phones ready to scan that thing. You got to stand close to you.
Okay. Tonight we have our Phoenix Design Week closing party at Artisan. They are our print sponsor. They printed everything for the conference last week. And there will be live music. There will be food and beverages. And Corey and Kathy and Morgan and myself will be there. And it's going to... Oh, yes, and 200 other
of your closest friends.
I don't know what kind of activities, but if you're interested in printing and the print world, I know I used to go to a lot of press checks, and I always loved the smell of a print shop.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also looking forward to that. Cool, more than 30 seconds. I guess it's not a 30-second spotlight.
No, it's okay. It is tonight, and it's free, but you got to RSVP so they know how to do it. This is going to be a capital S shindig, okay? They're going all out to sponsor us. Like, this is like lowercase b for bagels, right? Come on over, scan the thing. That'll take you directly to it.
It's at Artisan in North Scottsdale.
This is all I got. It's hosted by Artisan, who is a large commercial printer. So it's at their facility in Scottsdale, and it's going to be live. So near Westworld, so up in the corner there. Question about this? Yeah, go ahead.
There's no printing going on tonight. It's just kind of a party.
Yeah, I don't know if they have any hands-on. Okay, tomorrow there's an event happening, and I don't know if its capacity is still there, but it's similar to today's brunch club. There's just people hanging out. So if you're around tomorrow and you want to convene with other creative minds. Adele and Austin are hosting this, and they're not here today, but they're two cats that come to our events and recurring creative people around town. They're hosting this event called Vectors, and it really is just a meeting of the minds. And it's going to be tomorrow afternoon in, I believe, Scottsdale. Does it say? Yes, Scottsdale. So get a quick scan if you're available, if they still have places. Join us. Okay, and then next month, we're going to have our next Creative Mornings event. It's going to be Julia Karras on the topic soft. And the theme is interesting because she is a sculptor and ceramics artist. And so clay starts soft, but it ends up firm. Oh, how does that work? And an art therapist. Okay, so you got to come in a mushy lump of clay, and she will harden you up. And this is going to be at Sunshine Sunflower Studio, which is a pottery studio. So the venue, the place, the people, it's all going to be, this is an intriguing situation. Like, I want to know more about that. So watch your email. We're going to send it to you, and you can register in the normal fashion. And speaking of email, Creative Mornings does not send you spam. In fact, if you attended today's event, you are not on the email list. You are only for this event. So if you want to join our chapter list, you have to elect to do it. And so you can do it on any page of Creative Mornings. Just go to the bottom, and you could choose the chapter. So if you're split in time between Aarhus, I don't even know what that is. It's in Denmark? Okay. So I was playing a joke on myself even. But if you live in multiple places, visit multiple places. Tucson has a chapter. San Diego. You can sign up to the different chapter emails, and you'll get notified of the events. We only send essentially 2 per month, plus that last minute one that says like how to park, release your ticket, that sort of thing. Very light touch. We follow European rules, but we would love to see you keeping track of our chapter here. And then the last thing is next time when you come, this is your call to action. Bring a friend, make a friend, tell a friend, or a boss. We love seeing people that work together. Okay? And the real last thing is we're going to take a photo. And the lighting is slightly better on stage here. So I think it would be great if we could get the backdrop and the floral arrangement, and we could just kind of fill in this space. Maybe the photographers could go in the back corner, some elevation. That would be awesome. And then, like I said, take the tour up front with Madeline, and then meet us across the parking lot for the brunch. All right, good creative morning. Let me put this down. I don't even know. Hey, that's Flora. Right? Is it good? Correct us here. Make it force it. I know. Do we need to move the chairs or anything?
2, 3. There you go. Woo! Nice. Thank you.
One more email and then you can have it.
Okay, we got Crystal, Guerin.
I got Crystal. I need Guerin.
Who wants to take those plans? Yes. You didn't like.
Don't want to tip anything over. Careful.
Oh, that's nice one, that air. Okay. I'll take space and hold it. Okay, appreciate it. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's back up.
You waiting for me? Oh, okay. What's up?
This one?
I just wanted to throw my hat in or like interest in a future speaker.
A speaker? Okay, great. Let me write that down. I'll just put it in Slack because that's where we always coordinate anyway. I'll stop sharing. I'll take this off. Okay, and tell me your name.
Brandy with a Y.
Brandy.
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay. What's your email?
Creative Badassery.
Creative Badassery.
Yep, at Gmail.
And what's your story, or what's your practice area? Anything?
I started out as an art teacher, illustrator, my undergraduate, and I've taken a very different journey lately where I'm bringing creativity into the corporate world.
Oh, okay.
So right now I'm basically director of operations in my current role, but I've been writing and speaking within that field on how design thinking is creativity and not as part of every day-to-day. I like trying to quick note version of it for you, but
Well, I got your details. I will tell Erica, and then we'll start an email conversation. Because the trick is, and do you have any videos that show you speaking or anything?
see, if not, I can make it.
Okay. What we always try to do is link the theme with the person, and she's so good at that. So we'll look at the themes for the upcoming year. I don't have them memorized.
How dare you?
And they're always like abstract things like soft. But this year, or 26, there's a couple from around the world. So the theme, it's not an English word. So now it has a translation, but it's like the concept is like a Persian concept. So I'm like, okay, now I have to decode that and then find the person, which is, it's great that we're becoming so international.
I can elaborate on that later.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Of course. Oh, your next event moving in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll clear the. Oh no, I didn't even know that. We end at 10, which is tight. But let me clear that up for you. There you go.
Can I?
Thank you.
Reach out to you and just kind of like.
Yeah, shoot me an email. Definitely. Yeah, do you do your own thing or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can share my contact with you. I don't know if you want to give me the keep it,
Yeah. No, I do. I want to.
If you have your phone.
It's one of those digital. Is it a pop-up? Or what is it called?
It's the golf card. So I can just give you like that bit should pop up. If not, yeah.
Whoop. I don't know what that was. Mario, there you go. Okay. Perfect.
And a link to my Instagram.
Yeah, if you don't hear from me, shoot me a note.
Yeah.
I got your info.
Yeah. That way you know who's calling, who's texting, you know.
There you go. Okay. Right on. I'm glad you came up and said hi. Is this your first Creative Mornings?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get in touch.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said hi. And
you need any help?
Can help with if you want to break that one down, that would be helpful.